What's going on, everybody? Talk Nation salute. We all want Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. But guess what? I'm beginning to think it's not going to happen. Terence Crawford believes it's not going to happen. I don't know if it's just talk, but he has adamantly came out and say he's not even mentioning Errol Spence's name no more. It's in reference to a fight. We've been talking about it. Top Rank can't get along with PBC, Bob Baron, whatever. Whatever the case may be, either the fight is not going to happen or the fight is going to happen much farther in the future than fight fans want. Either way, we on to the next one. Shawn Porter, that would be a great fight for Terence Crawford. Not only a great fight, but also a great test. Because Shawn Porter does talk a lot, but Shawn Porter is very scrappy. Number one, great fighter, good boxer. Shout out also to his father. You know what I mean? Let me tell you guys something. He gave Spence problems. If you saw the Errol Spence fight and Shawn Porter fight, if Shawn Porter didn't get caught with that shot, and he didn't get dropped, you know what I'm saying? But, you know what I mean? Theoretically, his gloves touched the mat, knocked down. But if he didn't get caught with that shot, being overly aggressive, coming in, and he got caught with that right hook from Errol Spence, knocked him down. No, was it a right hook? He got caught with that shot, knocked him down. You know what I'm saying? If Shawn Porter didn't get caught with that shot, arguably, if that fight would have went the distance, Shawn Porter had a good chance of winning that fight. If Shawn Porter would have won that fight in a decision, nobody would have been mad at him. But that knockdown, that was the deciding factor for Errol Spence. Errol Spence know it, true analysts know it, and if you're a real fight fan, not being biased, you know it. Now, taking that into account, if Shawn Porter fights Bud Crawford, he will give Bud a good fight, and that will be a great test. Now, Terence Bud Crawford is arguably pound for pound the best fighter in the world. Some people have him and Canelo neck and neck. If Bud can dismantle Shawn Porter in better fashion than Errol Spence, that's going to say a lot about not only in reference to how great a boxer Bud is, but it'll also give you an idea on how potentially the fight could look. Even though Bud's style is different from Shawn Porter, but still, if Bud can get rid of Shawn Porter in better fashion than Errol Spence did, it kind of gives you an idea on how that fight can look between Terence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. Now, me personally, I believe between Terence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence, Bud is the better boxer. But don't get it twisted. Errol Spence is also a great boxer. I said this before in previous videos. While you guys are looking for him, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also share. Spence possesses great fundamentals from his hand placement, from the way that he utilizes his jab. You know what I'm saying? He's a fellow southpaw, but a lot of people, as far as southpaws, they always look for us to land and utilize that straight left hand. But Errol Spence has proven on more than one occasion he doesn't depend on his power hand. He's developed a nice right hook. You know what I'm saying? He hurt Porter with it. He knocked out Bundu with it on the ropes. You know what I'm saying? He's hurt many of his last opponents with that right hand. So you can't go into that fight with Errol Spence saying that, you know what, if I take away the left hand, that's it. Nah, because he doesn't depend on that left hand. You know what I mean? Yes, it's a part of his arsenal. Yes, it's a very powerful tool. But at the same time, Errol Spence possesses power in both hands. And he's very smart. Great jab, and he does have power. But back to Porter. Porter is very busy on his feet, kind of like Manny Pacquiao, you know what I'm saying? But I think Manny Pacquiao is strategically a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, active and solid, you know what I'm saying, on his feet. Porter, he just pretty much, you know what I'm saying, he just brings constant pressure, and he has developed his style in that format. You know what I mean? So he can defend in that. He can defend in that way, and also offensively, he can also get his shots off by putting that power on. And he doesn't run into too many shots, but he does run into shots. But you have to catch him the right way and at the right time. So if you have great timing, that will be a good style for you, despite Porter being such an active and aggressive fighter. Now, I believe Terence Crawford, great boxer. As I said, pound for pound, arguably. But he possesses great timing, and don't sleep on Bud's power. Bud has power. He stopped Kell Brook in 4 rounds. A lot of people didn't see that. I had him stopping Kell Brook probably definitely under 8, closer to 8, around that range. I gave Kell Brook that much credit, but I didn't think that he would get Kell Brook out of there in 4 rounds. You know what I mean? He dismantled Kell Brook. But I did also say the damage that Kell Brook has sustained in his previous fights with Golovkin and Spence. You know what I'm saying? With that damage to his orbital bones, I told you guys, if Bud focuses on, you know what I'm saying, like I said, utilizing the jab, basically putting his attention around those eyes, then the ref, knowing that he has basically metal behind his eyes, and the, you know what I'm saying, the medical staff on the side of the ring and Kell Brook's corner, they're not going to let him take sustained damage throughout the fight. So if it look like he's losing, taking too much damage, somebody's going to stop the fight. And guess what happened? The fight got stopped in round 4 because he was taking damage. Now, let me tell you, Shawn Porter, between the two, I believe Shawn Porter is the shorter fighter. You know what I'm saying? Shawn Porter, he stands at 5'7". Crawford, he stands at 5'8". So just a little bit shorter than Crawford. You know what I mean? Porter is 31, 3-1, and 17 knockouts. They're both 33 years of age. Crawford stands at 37-0 with 28 knockouts. Shawn Porter has 17 knockouts. Now, the reach between the two, naturally, Crawford has the reach at 74 inches. Porter has a disadvantage at 69.5 inches. Now, with Porter being so busy, that kind of makes up for his reach deficiencies because he's always aggressive. He's always going forward. So naturally, he's closing in that distance. But if you are fighting off of the back foot, that's when having the less reach is going to play against you. Now, that's really not Shawn Porter's style, fighting off of the back foot. His fight style is 4-wheel drive all the way through the fight. So if Terence Crawford can diffuse that and make Shawn Porter fight going backwards, he will have the fight in the bag. But even if he cannot do that, all he has to do is utilize his timing and angles, and he can offset Shawn Porter's style. Between the two, the knockout, I think Terence Crawford, he has a little bit more power, as you see, having 28 knockouts. So if he can catch Shawn Porter right, he can either drop Shawn Porter or he can possibly knock Shawn Porter out. Now, Bud, he throws his hands, you know what I'm saying? He does throw, small combinations. But if he gets you hurt, Bud does unlock the toolbox and start letting everything fly. Now, if Porter gets caught with some of these shots and he does get in trouble and he does get hurt, he will be in trouble and he can get stopped early. But I believe, because he always comes into this fight in great shape. Both fighters do. That's one thing I give both fighters. They're both professionals. They both enter each fight or whatever fight they may be fighting in the best physical condition possible. And with these days, with COVID-19 being crazy, you know what I'm saying? It's even more prevalent that fighters stay not only in shape, but they also stay conditioned. You're just seeing with Oscar Valdez and Miguel Burchett, I still believe that when Burchett had COVID-19 Yes, physically on the outside, he may have recovered, but having COVID-19, depending upon the severity of it when you had it, it can do a lot of damage to your lungs, to your inside. And I think that he just ran out of gas, you know what I'm saying, early. And Oscar Valdez fought a perfect fight, and he was conditioned for the fight. So it was a great win, wound up being a great knockout for Oscar Valdez. But Porter and Crawford both stay in great shape. Both are actively training. I believe that Shawn Porter just recently started to pick his training up because I believe that he knows certain things are flying around and rumoring around as far as who could possibly be his next opponent. He's already said on the WELTERWEIGHT podcast, shout out, that he wouldn't mind fighting Terence Crawford. And I believe that because people always talk about Crawford as fighting notable names within the division, I think taking on somebody like Shawn Porter, I think that'll be not only a great fight, but a great matchup. And if Terence Crawford can win that fight, that will further propel him in the division. Like I said, just dispatching Kell Brook in the way that he did, and now he's coming to fight Shawn Porter. And if he's able to get Shawn Porter out the way, the talks after that is going to be who? Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, because Errol Spence, we already know that's the fight that everybody wants. But for whatever reason, that fight is not being made by Bob Arum for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? Now, moving forward, you know what I mean? You just got finished seeing what happened with Teofimo Lopez, you know what I'm saying? Now, Triller just picked up that fight, you know what I'm saying? They won a purse bid. So his next fight is going to be on the Triller app, you know what I'm saying? That's Mike Tyson's situation. Now, I think if you want the Terence Crawford and the Errol Spence fight to happen, it's going to have to be in a situation like that. You're going to have to walk away from, you know what I mean, even if it's for short term, whatever, but you're going to have to walk away from Top Rank, PBC, get with one of these networks, you know what I'm saying, like Triller or The Zone, work out a one fight deal situation and make the fight happen. And the fight is going to be super big, super explosive. It's going to garner major attention, you know what I'm saying, for those prospective platforms. And after that, you know what I'm saying, you guys go back to your contracts and your platforms and you live out the rest of your days until it's over. Now, I believe about Terence Crawford, once the contract is over with Top Rank, I believe he's going to leave. I do believe he's going to leave and head over to PBC with Al Heyman and the rest of them, because that's the camp. They have the fighters, you know what I'm saying? They have the network. So I believe that would be a good move for Terence Crawford because, like I said, he's 35 years of age. He hasn't said when he wants to walk away from boxing, but at 33 years of age, let's just hypothetically say he has anywhere from 2 to 3 years left in the game. And I'm sure that he wants the Pacquiao fight. That's where he said he's focusing on trying to get the Pacquiao fight done. It was already talked about before. It was in talks, but everything got held up due to COVID-19 situation in Dubai. But now those talks possibly are supposed to be, you know what I mean, reactivated, and these guys are talking. So if he's able to get Manny Pacquiao in the ring, that's going to be a super, super, super huge fight, period. And if he's able to beat Manny Pacquiao, automatically, that's going to put him above Errol Spence. Because you just knocked off a legend. Manny Pacquiao still active, you know what I'm saying? He's a champion on recess because, you know what I mean, the whole Ryan Garcia situation, and he got stripped by the WBA. But at the same time, if he's able to knock off Manny Pacquiao, that's going to elevate Terence Crawford, you know what I'm saying, in my opinion, past Errol Spence, despite Errol Spence, you know what I'm saying, being, you know what I'm saying, the champion and the status that he has, is going to put him above him. That's why Errol Spence also wants to fight Manny Pacquiao. A fight like that, a name like that, and a victory like that propels and elevates you in the division and in the sport of boxing. So we just have to see how things work out. But fight fans, Shawn Porter, Terence Crawford, That is the fight. Will that fight happen? Will that fight take place? I myself, as an analyst and sports fan, hope that it does. And I hope you guys do too. So put it in the comment section if you guys want the Terence Crawford and Porter fight to happen. Because we already know Bud Crawford and Spence, that's not going to be their next fight. In the future, who knows? But it's definitely not going to happen, in my opinion, in 2021. So put it in the comments. While you at it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up. More importantly, subscribe, support the channel. I am an essential worker, man, you know what I mean? So I work and I do this for you guys, man. So the best way for you guys to show support, man, just get a video a like, leave a comment. But like I said, also subscribe and share the video on whatever social platforms that you may like. You know what I'm saying? So I catch you guys on the next one, man. Just do your best to be blessed, be humble, guard up, mask up, protect yourself at all times. There's a war going on outside and ain't nobody safe from it, man. I see you guys on the next one. Catch you next round. Peace. Talk Nation.